A's Twins next. Big night of baseball coming up at the O.co Coliseum, a sellout crowd. It's game 2 of the 4-game series. It's the Minnesota Twins and it's the Oakland A's, and the A's are pushing for that playoff spot. You'll see tonight's game right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. The Rangers are playing right now. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning in Kansas City, tied with the Royals 1-1. The A's magic number is sitting at 4. Again, everybody, welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. But boy, has it been fun to watch Coco Crisp. We've talked a lot about him, and quite frankly, you can't say enough. And what he has done for this A's team, you think he's going to be stealing bases. No, he's hitting home runs. Unbelievable.
That's the amazing thing. 2 more home runs than he has stolen bases, 21 and 19. But what he has done swinging the bat from both sides of the plate, he has done an unbelievable job. Look at the numbers since late August, mid-August, what he has done to propel this club to where they are right now. And again, hitting from both sides of the plate as he did here at the Coliseum from the right side. That was the big home run. Started his homestand, but last night it was tremendous. He knew he had hit it. That was a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th inning after the Twins had tied the game. So Coco, he's playing a great center field as he always does, but even better swinging the bat.
Bartolo Colon will be making his 5th start since coming back from the disabled list. And Ray, very clear that his time on the disabled list really helped him. Got a chance to maybe rest a little bit, rest the arm. Now he's got good velocity back.
What he did against the Texas Rangers last Saturday, which was his last start, tremendous with his fastball, the 2-seam fastball. And I think the biggest thing for him, he knew when to throw the 2-seamer. He also knew when he could throw it up to 94, 95, as he did to Mitch Moreland. Did a great job in a 1-0 game, got out of some tough jams. But he won his 20th game against the Texas Rangers. Nobody has done that except Bartolo Colon.
And Bob Melvin likes to put on a good show in front of a big crowd. Well, he's got a big crowd tonight. It's going to be a sellout. Fireworks after the game, and the A's making that run at the postseason, and they are getting close, folks. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back. It's the A's and the Twins coming up on Comcast Sportsnet California.
That's where it's at. Woo!
on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax.
35, Wally Bell.
Bartolo Colon and the Athletics trying to make it 2 in a row over the Minnesota Twins. A's won last night by a final score of 8-6. Kind of a wild game, and the A's used the long ball to help win that one. See how they do tonight. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. A little cooler tonight. Lots of clouds today. And it'll be cooler this weekend from what we are told. Star Wars night at the ballpark, and it's the Star Wars theme after the game with the fireworks. So looks like the umpires were in good hands. All right, let's check out the lineup tonight for the Minnesota Twins. Presley in center, Herman is the catcher, Dozier at second, Arcia in right field, Willingham is the DH tonight, Parmalee, Escobar, Cleet Thomas gets a start in left field, and Flormon is the shortstop.
Bartolo Colon will be on the mound for the Athletics. He did win his last start against the Texas Rangers last Saturday. And, of course, with Jared Parker not able to start, they backed up everybody. So Bartolo gets the start tonight. First this season. The second time the A's seen the Twins this year. They saw him back at the Twin Cities. And Bartolo on the mound tonight with some extra rest, which is not bad for anybody.
So Colon is ready. Alex Presley steps in, hitting .278 with a homer and 8 RBIs in the first pitch of the ball game. Presley shows bunt, takes a strike.
First pitch, 7:07.
So we showed you the score of the Rangers game, which we'll continue to keep a close eye on. Still tied 1-1 in the top of the 7th inning in Kansas City. So that is a huge game in the American League wild card race.
Well, I think that's the best thing you say, just simply because the games that are coming down the last couple of weeks, the last weekend, and you know how exciting it's going to be around baseball for teams that are still in the possibility of going to postseason.
And in the American League, there's still quite a few.
I think Ron Washington said it best, and of course everybody would like to win the division, as the Rangers did try last year. The A's beat them, and the A's have a commanding lead this season. But as Wash said, all you want to do is get the postseason, and they realize that maybe the division is not the possibility, but to get in, anything can happen. And of course, wild card would be a 1-game play in, and hopeful of winning that game to be able to play at least a best-of-5 series.
That's the thing, is Wally Bell will be calling balls and strikes tonight. It's that 1-game play-in that is very scary, but if you're able to win that, well, then you're in the same spot as everybody else.
That's exactly right.
Now, granted, that is a difficult game to play. Anything can happen, but
you know, it might work to the advantage of a wild card team because of the time they're going to play. Because they could finish the season on Sunday. Within a couple of days, they play the wild card. A couple of days after that, they start the division. So you'd have their normal time off. If a team wins the division, they're going to have probably 4 days off before the first game to play.
that one hit up the middle. Lowry dives, he can't get it, and Alex Presley has a leadoff signal. So that's how this ball game gets started defensively for the A's tonight. Young, Crispin, Reddick, left, center, right. Donaldson, Lowry, Callaspo, Barton, third to first. And Norris is your catcher. And the Twins will be throwing a young lefty, Andrew Albers, tonight. So we see some of the right-handed hitters in there for the Athletics, a couple of them anyways. Here's Chris Herman. Herman swings at the first pitch, pops it foul. Third base side, Donaldson gets back there and he makes the catch. So out number one, and that'll bring up Brian Dozier.
Jed Lowry diving to a ball that shot through the infield very quickly, just under his glove, and Presley runs well. Now probably would not have thrown him out, but a great attempt, and maybe nothing else, just to see how quickly the ball is going to get through the infield, and it is a little bit fast.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So here's Dozier. He had the RBI single that tied the game last night. Presley opening up the game with a base hit. Twins come in with a 65-87 record. Lost 7 out of their last 9. They battled hard last night.
And they've had good numbers against the Western Division in the scheduling, the way it's the format set up now. They play the teams out of your division one time at their park, one time in the home park, and they had a makeup game against the Angels the Monday night before the A's went in. They won that to end their long losing streak at home, but the A's were fortunate to beat them 2 of 3 and won last night.
And they're 19-11 against the West.
And this is the time that you want to be winning games. Because Shooty Babbage said appropriately in the pregame, and that is this time, you don't care who you're playing, you want to win every game. And that's what the A's are attempting to do. Ron Gardenhire, longtime manager, 12th season managing the Twins, trying to get his team back.
This one is popped up and it's just below us. Takes a big bounce. Well, somebody had a play and I don't think they made the play. I saw it bounce just to our right.
Well, that's an easy hop, but of course it had a top spin on it. As we've seen balls shooting through the infield and the outfield here. Anything with top spin.
So 1-2 to Brian Dozier. Just missed outside. The Orioles are leading the Rays 4-3 in the 7th inning in St. Petersburg. That's a huge series in the wild card. Red Sox leading the Blue Jays 5-3 in the 8th at Fenway. A win for the Red Sox, and they clinch the American League East. Chop toward Lowry. He'll shovel to second to get the out there. Dozier reaches on a fielder's choice. 2 outs here in the first.
Back when we were in Seattle in 2011 watching everything unfold in Baltimore and down in St. Pete with those finishes that were unheard of and collapsed the Red Sox, the whole thing. Thought because of the second wild card might not see that again, but I take it back.
Well,
it could be.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it could go down to the final day where you really don't know who the wild card teams are going to be. The divisions might be settled, but you might have in both the National and American League where it's right down to the wire.
You have 6 teams who legitimately have a shot at the wild card, or the 2 wild cards in the American League. The Indians are leading the Astros 2-1 in the 7th inning in Cleveland, but they are in a rain delay. The Indians just a half game back of the Rays and the Rangers, who are tied. So the Rays and the Rangers have the 2 wild card spots right now. Outside Arcia, the Yankees beat the Giants tonight. Giants spending a week in New York. Alex Rodriguez hit a grand slam in the 8th inning to break up a 1-1 game, and the Yankees won 5-1. So the Yankees are hanging in there. They're certainly not out of it. They would need to string together 5 or 6 wins in a row. They can do that.
Now the winningest pitcher in postseason announced his retirement, Andy Pettitte. So 3 of the 4 of the core 4. Larry Posada, Rivera is going to retire. Pettitte is going to retire, and only Derek Jeter will be remaining of that core 4 that came up together and won so many championships.
The 2-0 pitch is in for a strike to Oswaldo Arcia.
2-seam fastball, but watch how Bartolo gets under the ball, and while it had movement, stayed in the strike zone. He normally is on top of the pitch, driving it down in the zone with the 2-seam movement. But when you elevate a pitch like that, especially with a power hitter, it's not good.
Inside with a fastball. So the count now 3-1 with Willingham waiting in the on-deck circle.
Dropping down.
It is. He's becoming a breaking ball pitcher. We're just joking. Runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw to second base is no. They called him safe. I was about ready to call him out, but we had to wait for Tim McClellan, who called him safe. I think Derek Norris wants to know what the heck happened. Throw was there ahead of time.
Well, it might have been a little bit of a surprise, swing and miss, and then Derek Norris, though, made a very strong throw. He's out. If he looked like he tagged in there, but Tim McClellan said he did not. Let's see if he does. If he did, it was very, very light.
3-2 pitches, foul back. Lowry really did not argue.
No, he didn't.
So that may tell you something. This may be the best look of all.
And that's what happens with the infielder taking the throw in front of the bag. You see how the runner is able to go to the outside part of the bag. He did not go straight in. If he went in straight to the bag, then he's out. But he saw that Lowry, a lot of times the infielders will take the throw in front of the bag. When that happens, good base runners will go to the outside part of the bag.
Swing and a miss. High fastball. Arcia strikes out, and the Twins strand a runner at second. No score. Here come the A's in the bottom of the first. Lineup for the Athletics. Crisp, Donaldson, Lowry, Cespedes the DH, Norris, Young, Tyaspo, Reddick, and Barton.
And it will be another new pitcher of the AAC. That will be Andrew Albers, the AAC, and him for the first time, making his 9th start. 2-3 on the season. He has pitched well, but he's not overpowered. He will use the inside part of the plate because his fastball is in the upper 80s. He utilizes the off-speed pitches to the outside part of the plate, and with that in mind, he has to work the inside part of the plate with a fastball to make his changeup effective to the outside.
There you go. What more do you need to say?
Well, it's not cold enough right now for hot and cold, so we're going to wait a little. Before long, though.
Well, next week at this time, when we're sitting at Safeco Field in Seattle, we may be wishing we had some hot cold. 257, 21 homers, 61 RBIs for Coco.
I just have Ted Walsh, who's on the pitching side. He's a good guy. Have Ted send up a Some hot chocolate, hot cocoa. Some other goodies, maybe. Stay warm.
Pocket warmers.
Probably for the Seahawks across the way.
2-1 now to Coco Crisp. 11 home runs in his last 27 games. That is amazing. He had 11 home runs for the entire season last year. Bounces this one to third, backhanded by Eduardo Escobar, who guns it across, and that's out number 1. Let's look at the Twins defensively tonight. Cleat Thomas is getting the start in left field. Alex Presley in center. And Arcia in right. Escobar, Florimon, Dozier, Parmalee the infielders, with Chris Herman doing the catching.
Notice also that Albers, the lefty, pitches out of the stretch from the beginning. Started the game out of the stretch, and Yu Darvish, of course, probably best known for that. Started last year when he struggled, joining the Rangers. Too many moving parts to the windup, so he went to stretch and pitched very effectively.
And that one is a shot right up the middle, a base hit for Donaldson.
Josh Donaldson did not get a chance to see a lot of pitches from this lefty to Coco Crisp, but he set on a fastball, got a fastball right back up the middle. Hard hit.
Number 8.
So between right field, center field, leg kick, and I thought Coco was very descriptive last night when he was talking about his no stride. He said, unlike Josh Donaldson, and you can see the high leg kick, an important thing for timing, and Donaldson is very good at it. You lift the leg, you load up, but you have to get the foot down so you can make the contact. And Donaldson throughout this season has done that with 23 home runs and 89 driven in.
Can't really do much till the foot hits the ground.
That's right.
Lowry hitting .285 with 13 homers, 70 RBIs. He takes a strike. Cespedes in the on-deck circle. And he's come in with a 90-63 record. So game number 154 for the Athletics.
And they got 90 wins again.
Yep.
I mean, that's special. But the best thing you said was Cespedes in the on-deck circle, because you didn't say it last night because he wasn't in the game.
On the ground to third, Escobar, nice play moving to his left, and that's a double play. So 5-4-3, and just like that, the inning's over. We're headed to the second from the Coliseum. No score.
Build your stadium and make the decisions to guide your team to the World Series. Download MLB Ballpark Empire free today. Data and usage rates may apply. Let's see. That person did.
Willingham to lead it off here in the second inning for the Twins, followed by Parmalee and Escobar.
At times that Bartolo Colon has struggled in the first inning, and while he threw a lot of pitches, he got to the point where he made a good pitch to Arcia and struck him out with the runner at second. See how much now he starts to use a two-seam fastball.
And that one is into center field. The base hit. Callaspo was shifted over, and he went for it, going far to his right, but no chance. And Willingham's got kind of a jam shot single to lead off the second inning.
A 90-mile-an-hour fastball ran in, got it on the hands, but up the middle, especially where Callaspo was playing, to be able to have the ball make it into center field. It was hit hard enough, at least.
So Parmalee will hit. Parmalee hitting .232 with 8 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Side corner strike. Three hits last night for Parmalee. Swing and a miss. To Chris Parmalee. Strike three call. Wally Bell rings up Parmalee, and that's the second strikeout.
Now we saw in Texas, and we have seen Bartolo Colon, and see where Derek Norris moves inside. He wants the two-seamer, so it moved, but again, he's getting under the pitch a little bit to elevate the fastball, and fortunately Wally Bell is calling the pitch. Wally hanging on to Derek Norris for dear life.
Wouldn't that be uncomfortable if you're the catcher?
It's very uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh.
It's even worse when they put the hand on the shoulder.
Why is he doing that? I don't understand.
Well, it's kind of a balance, you know. You're going to balance yourself. He must have heard you. He's not doing it.
Here's Eduardo Escobar. Switch hitting third baseman. Willingham not going anywhere at first. Strike at its own 2. So Wally Bell pumping that right arm tonight.
You know, it's amazing how much movement Bartolo Colon, as a right-hander, can get on a two-seam fastball throwing inside to a lefty. And the hitter's got to be thinking, is this a lefty or righty throwing a pitch with that much movement? Same thing he's doing so far, he's bucking the knees of the hitters when he does it.
Straight back. Looks like Bartolo tonight, Ray. I don't know if you see the same thing. Looks like he's working slower. I've seen him enough down. He generally is a guy that gets it, he's ready to throw. It just seems like he's a little much more deliberate tonight. Not necessarily a bad thing. That one flipped down the left field line, and that's fair. So Willingham made the big turn. He stops at second, and that ball was just fair. Young raced over, nothing he could do about it. So Escobar has a single down the left field line, 2 on and 1 out.
Again, the pitch was up, and while he's throwing some strikes with the pitches elevated, this is what can happen, especially with guys that go to the opposite field. And Escobar did it, and you're right, nothing Young could do except catch the ball, keep it from going past him and letting Willingham advance. But the main thing, he keeps it first and second with the possible double play. That's played by Chris Young.
Here's Cleet Thomas.
Okay, I think the thing that's slowing Bartolo down, leadoff hitter Presley got on.
Yeah, that's true.
First hit Willingham gets on. So, and it seems like Bartolo is just trying to take his time a little bit to figure everything out, and they're not rushing into it, which if you're trying to think and figure out what you're going to throw it to be effective, rather than hurry up and do it, he's taken the opposite approach and then slowing down.
Facing Thomas, the left-handed hitter. So Cleve Thomas just a little bit with the Tigers. He was claimed off waivers from Detroit by the Twins last April. In the big leagues just for a little while with the Twins last year. Oh, 2. Florimon is the on-deck hitter. Fastball outside.
I remember the Saturday game against the Rangers. He used the fastball, the four-seam fastball, to throw it by. Especially Mitch Moreland struck him out 3 times with a high fastball outside. The only difference in some of the hitters tonight, they're thinking more of the opposite field. Moreland in that particular game was trying to pull everything.
And that one is right there. Strike 3 call. Thomas took a fastball right down the middle.
And really, that was no movement. That's a four-seam fastball. And you have to wonder, 2 strikes, what's the hitter looking for to not pull the trigger on a fastball right down the middle. But he did not. And he heads back to the dugout as a result. Get him, Wally. Oh, boy.
First pitch to Florimon is a strike. 226 for the young shortstop for the Twins. 8 home runs, 41 RBIs. And another strike. It's 0-2.
Again, look at the movement. And you're going to freeze a lot of hitters when the two-seam fastball starts at the hitter. He's going to flinch a lot, not be able to pull the trigger.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Blew it right by him, 93 miles an hour. So on 3 pitches, Florimon strikes out, and the Twins strand a pair in the second. Cash Street's Challenger Slot Tournaments. Free entry daily from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. Visit cashstreet.com for details. Bottom of the second from the Coliseum, no score. Sellout crowd tonight. As Cespedes steps in, he's the DH tonight. He takes a first pitch strike from Andrew Albers.
It was only the 8th pitch. He threw 7 in the first inning. Tried Bartolo to take a little more time. He's throwing more pitches. I think it's always tough on a team and always a pitcher's advantage if they're seeing the team for the first time. And that's the case of really the A's seeing a lot of these pitchers from the Twins for the first time. It's taken all season to finally see them. And now that they have, they're seeing pitchers, they're saying, who? So, as I said last night, Adam Roden's got his work cut out for him. He is the best at getting all the video put together. Scouting reports. University of Kentucky. That's a Joe Blanton school. Right. Joe went to University of Kentucky.
Yes, he did. Maybe Andrew Albers broke all of Joe Blanton's pitching records at the University of Kentucky. Originally went to San Diego Padres. Andrew Albers was a Twins signed him as a minor league free agent back in 2011. Missed a couple years with Tommy John surgery, 2009 and 2010. Three and 2 to Cespedes. Here it is. And that one is launched to left center. And that baby's gone. 1-0. The A's lead.
Wow. Was that a shot? Got a cortisone shot in the right shoulder. Missed last night's game. Comes back tonight, sees the 6th pitch from this lefty and crushes it to left center. And the best thing you said, Kai, was Cespedes in the on-deck circle because he is back in the lineup and no power. Man, he powered that one.
So here's Norris.
You know, I don't think with Cespedes you can afford as a pitcher to throw a ball towards the middle of the plate at about 87 miles an hour. Because he can do exactly what he just did pretty consistently.
And that one is lined to right. And Arcia missed it and it sails over his head. And Derek Norris is going to hold at second base. The big fella put on the brakes.
Lights time at the Coliseum. The way he went down, solidly hit by Norris, but it had to have gotten in the lights because he was there and watch him drop down. He could not get the ball out of the lights. And it went right over his glove, under the ground, and he looked back to see where Derek Norris was. And that's a horrible feeling when you can't find the ball and they're experiencing it with the sunshine during day games, with the lights also can play a big part, especially if they're right in the middle of it.
So it will be a double for Norris. So that'll bring up Chris Young. There's those lights.
The ball is hit just right, so that's what he's looking at.
First pitch to Young is a strike as he showed bunt. Young hitting .203 with 12 homers, 37 RBI.
I saw the great Hall of Famer Brooks Robertson, the human vacuum cleaner, at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. It was a bunt. And he came in as a high chop and a bunt, hooked up right in lights. And when Brooksy misses them, you know, there's a problem. It happened to get in lights. So lights, you don't see it that often, but we just saw it tonight.
Hey, you look up at the light towers and you're thinking, well, these seem like they would be too high for a line drive to get in those lights, but line drive's going to get up a little higher than maybe you think. 0-2 to Young with Cayaspo waiting in the on-deck circle. Big breaking ball, and Young swings and misses.
Cespedes worked to count to 3-2. And look at the pitch and look at the result. Right down the middle. Bat speed, tremendous bat speed, and with the contact, the way it sounded, and just a matter of how far it's going to go, not if it's going to go. And left center, so it really wasn't as if he went out just to try to pull the ball, utilize the power, and hit the walkway in left center.
First pitch to Cayaspo. There's that breaking ball again. This one drops low. The numbers in September for Cespedes: 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, and a .375 batting average, covering 18 games. Let's check out our Ford right choice for tonight. Last night, Alberto Cayaspo, a pinch hit home run in the bottom of the 6th inning. He was hitting for Sorghum, and that was a big one. It tied the game at 3. Lowry would later hit a 3-run home run. The A's had a 6-3 lead.
They're comfortable, didn't it?
Felt like it.
Yeah. Man, how quickly it changed. But end result, Coco came through in the 8th inning, and A's had another win.
Rolled foul. The Rangers and the Royals still tied 1-1. That game is in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Indians won, Ray. That's huge. And they got a rain-short win at home. 2-1 over the Astros. It was called after 7 innings due to rain. Indians, they'll take it. So if the Rays and or the Rangers lose, if either of those teams lose or they both lose, the Indians will have one of the wild card spots. That big curve again. This one, Cayaspo fouled right at home plate, right behind the catcher.
Kind of a herky-jerky delivery by this left-hander, which is a little bit, I think, deceptive to the hitters. Cayaspo just barely able to foul the curveball. Chris Young was not as fortunate as he completely missed it, so it remains Norris at second. The gift double makes the ball being lost to the lights.
2-2 pitches chopped over the mound. Florimon throws, and a nice play by the shortstop. Cayaspo is out. Norris to third. 2 outs for Reddick.
Unfortunately, did not hit it hard enough to make it all the way into center field. And Florimon, good range, getting to the ball. And at least Derek Norris is able to go to third, but he would like to have been there with that ball hit because it would have played it a run.
First pitch to Reddick is a little slider for a strike. Cespedes, his 25th home run of the year, leading off this inning to give the A's a 1-0 lead. Down and away. The Red Sox just beat the Blue Jays 6-3. So the Boston Red Sox are doing the champagne thing in front of their home fans at Fenway. They just won the American League East. So congratulations to the Boston Red Sox. What a turnaround.
Well, before it came in the booth, saw a couple of scouts from the Red Sox in watching the A's.
That one grounded. Backhanded by Dozier. His throw to first is not in time. Norris comes in to score, and the A's lead 2-0. So it'll be an infield hit for Reddick and give him an RBI.
Well, great hustle by Josh Reddick, because he knew once the second baseman went to his right, there was going to be a bang-bang play. He hustled, knew there was an RBI and a run for the Athletics, and just barely got the front part of the bag with the foot. This is the key. Running through the bag, hitting the front part of the bag, and so the umpire could hear or see, and Dozier thought he got him, but it was that close, and Reddick out of the box and all the way. But see, a lot of runners will jump at the bag. They get airborne. You cannot pick up ground if you're airborne. So you keep your feet close to the ground. And you try to hit the bag in the front part of the bag to maximize the effort. And played by Dozier, but I think Marvin Hudson got it correct.
First pitch to Barton is fouled to the left.
Kev, what was it about the Red Sox? I can't remember, something like 65 wins last year. I mean, so few wins, the most losses they've had in a long time. But
it was not a good.
Yeah, I think that the more important part, 90 some odd losses, the most they had ever had in 40 some odd years or something like that.
69 and 93.
Yeah. So to turn back around, almost the exact reversal in the numbers.
Yep, that was their 94th win.
Yep.
So what they're also doing is they're also inching out ahead of the A's and the Tigers a little bit in that best record, which would give you obviously home field advantage throughout the postseason. Oh, 2 to Barton. And that one missed low.
I think right now the A's are trying to stay ahead of the Tigers and worry about the Red Sox a week from Sunday. And if that happens, it happens. But I figured John Farrell and the Red Sox are going to continue to play hard and try to maintain their top spot in the American League.
Be interesting if Jacoby Ellsbury gets back or plays at all this week. He's got the bad foot. So the Red Sox win. The Tigers also. Has their game gone final yet? Yes, it has. So the Tigers won. In fact, I believe Max Scherzer got his 20th win tonight. Yes, he did. So Scherzer had to work for that 20th win, but he got it. Tigers won 12-5 over the White Sox.
5th start, 5th attempt.
Big curve, and it's ripped to right, and that's a fair ball. Arcia missed it, and Reddick grounds third. They're waving him home. He's going to score. Barton to third, and he is safe. Arcia just reached out, and he missed it again.
And it all started after the home run by Cespedes with Arcia missing a fly ball because of the lights. And this one, the top spin, kind of have to wonder about the turf. And he looked up maybe as the ball stayed down and had the spin, and he peeked up, and that's got him in trouble. Single, E9, no RBI, according to Chuck Duval. I don't think it's official score, but the A's score a run. We'll take it no matter what.
So it's a 3 spot for the A's here in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, it's a single. I thought Barton might be trying for 2 anyway, considering where the ball was hit. But ball stayed down as Arcia went down to get it, but watch his eyes. He looked up, and he did not concentrate on the baseball, and as a result, it got under his glove. So not a particularly great inning for him. Barton running all the way. There's a close play at third, and he looked to Mike Gallego, who was bringing him. And the throw almost in time, got in safely, and I think both Gallego and Barton a big sigh of relief because you don't want to make that out at third, but Barton hustled.
So now Coco Crisp will step in. So that the missed line drive by Arcia, I mean, that is turning out to be a huge play, and it's not going to be an error, but it was a misplayed ball, got lost in the lights.
It's 1-0 versus 3-0 right now, and another runner at third.
Coco drives one towards center. Presley's back. He's got room, makes the catch. Side retired. A's scored 3 times. The first run coming, and Yoenis Cespedes' 25th home run of the year. 3-0 A's after 2.
Catch the rest of the 2013 base season in HD quality. Scared? Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 350 mobile and connected devices. Visit MLB.tv today. What was that? Star Wars characters.
Don't mess with those guys.
Roaming throughout the stadium.
So Cologne now has a 3-0 lead. Presley to lead it off, the leadoff man. And that's a swing, says Marty Foster down at third.
It's good.
Best in the majors.
Bartolo did it last inning for him on the fastball, and you can see him on occasion when he gets the 2 strikes. You can see him just kind of get that look like here comes the 4-seam fastball. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can, and he'll get it anywhere from 93 to 95 miles per hour. And I think it fools a lot of hitters, but it's because they're accustomed to seeing the 2-seam at about 89, 90 with a lot of movement, occasional slider and changeup. And they get the mid-90s fastball, a little different.
Paspo scoops it up, flips to first, and that's out number 1. Bring up Chris Herman.
Number 12, Chris Herman.
Should let our viewers know that a little bit later on in the ball game, we're going to have a special guest up in the booth.
Yoda?
It is not Yoda.
You liked it though, huh?
It's Steph Curry.
That who Yoda is?
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's who? Yoda Curry. stopper.
Steph Curry from the Golden State Warriors.
He's starting already? Or is he just a baseball fan?
He's probably a baseball fan. They'll be getting started soon.
We haven't seen Jim Barnett up here this year.
No, I know. If Jim Barnett is watching, Jim, you have 2 more games
That's
to
right.
come up and say hi.
A little shocked and disappointed that he hasn't been up to see us.
But we're looking forward to visiting with Steph Curry. He is a star.
We'll ask him about Jim Barnett.
I'm not going to go that route, but if you want to, because I don't want Steph Curry to go.
Who?
Steph Curry is awesome. In fact, you can put him on a short list of most popular athletes in the Bay Area right now. No question about it. Two and two to Herman.
It's a frustrating two-seamer there.
Uh-oh, high five the hot dog. Oh. That's not the way it was planned, I don't think. She was ready to high five anybody. Left field where Young is under it. And that's the second out.
Now batting, number 2, Brian Dozier.
No. Oh, man. Got 2 bites left. That was pretty fun.
That was Exmo, brought to you by. that was the burger smashing in Exmo. That's pretty good.
Oh, 0-1 to Dozier. 0-2 to Dozier. Kelowna is a strike throwing machine tonight. 47 pitches, 38 of them strikes, 9 balls. Two pitch is right there. Strike 3 call. 3 up, 3 down inning for Bartolo Colon. That's his 5th strikeout. And we're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 3-0 Athletics. Brewed Coors Light. Bartolo Colon, tough month of August, turned it around in September. He's 2-1 with a 0.95 ERA so far in September. He went on the disabled list, and I think that stint on the disabled list has helped him. He is 40 years old.
Is he? I didn't think so. He's not acting like it. He's proving to a lot of scouts that his age is not what they say it is.
2-0 to Donaldson. Donaldson, Lowry, and Cespedes for the Athletics here in the bottom of the third. Now it's 3-0. Andrew Elbers, who has not walked anybody, has struck out one so far. Their first strike at 85 miles an hour. There's another one. Chewy hanging out. Got them all here tonight. Great, just walk around. Nobody knows who you are. That's what you need. You're so popular here at the Coliseum, Ray. You walk around, everybody wants your autograph. A big hood like that, just make it a little bit easier for you. Dozier has it, and that's out number one. All right, we got an October Quest update from the studio. Ahmed Fareed, what's going on? Thanks, Ahmed. And the Royals with the lead now, bottom of the 8th inning. Remember, they have what some people consider to be the best closer in the American League.
That's
Holland. He is nasty.
Not only the closer, but just the setup, the bullpen in general. And they fortified their rotation this year with James Shields, the #1 acquisition, because they knew they had the bullpen. And they wanted to be able to get the bullpen with the lead, and they've had a very good season.
You know what's funny is you see these teams, and I don't know that I'd want to face the Royals in a short series.
Right. Right.
Lowry lines it toward left. Thomas is there. And I say that just because they have a couple guys who are. Santana's been very good. Shields is a #1 starter, and like you said, a terrific bullpen.
And really, you don't know with the rest of the season. And for the Red Sox, the Braves, teams that are clinching early, they can. The Dodgers, because I think they've already pushed Kershaw back, so he's eligible or will be ready to start game 1. So you can start maneuvering, but you never know if you're trying to get in who you're going to use just to try to get to the postseason and maybe even the wild card game. Do you use your best pitcher in that game to try to advance? So a lot of things can change, based on what you do once you get in the postseason.
This is what Cespedes did in the 2nd inning.
Between what we've seen with Coco Crisp and what this young man is doing, and Bob Melvin wants his bat in the lineup again. Preferably, I'd like to see him in left field, but just the fact that he gets at least 4, sometimes 5 at bats, and he can do something like that. Don't really mind whether he can play the defense or not, but it does change the way Bob Melvin uses his lineup if he is able to play left field.
So 0-2 to Cespedes. He's with 3 home runs last night, another one tonight. Maybe the biggest story of the second half from a statistical standpoint is how many home runs the A's have hit. Big home runs last night.
Yeah.
Not a lot of garbage home runs for the Athletics.
Mooney, John Blue Moon Odom, man, he always finds the best seat, doesn't he?
Now talk about him, Ray.
Oh, I know, he's upset. Well, he was all over.
Well, why?
Because last night, and I told him, I said, you know, when my partner says something, I'm not going to jump on. He's got a nice. John Blue Moon was watching the game. He said, you know, you had the perfect time to talk about me. I said, what do you mean? He said, there was this beautiful moon. And I said, yeah, my partner said, what a beautiful moon. He says, and you could have just said, and yeah, Blue Moon is going to be here tomorrow. I said, why would I say that?
That is a perfect response.
Yeah.
Man. Why would I say that?
Yeah. I said, my partner is talking about a beautiful moon. Not you.
You know what?
Mooney.
Just for that, we're not going to talk about it anymore. He's out.
Get 2013 postseason rights. Just place a deposit on a 2014 A's ticket plan and secure your place in line for 2013 playoff tickets. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or go to oaklandathletics.com/deposit.
Three 0. It's the 4th inning, and it's Oswaldo Arcia leading things off. He swings and misses at the first pitch. They are in the top of the 9th inning now, with the Royals leading the Rangers 2-1, and Holland is in for Kansas City. Grounded hard. Barton grabs it, and that's out number 1.
Amazing thing about Holland, and you're right, he's very good, but someone was telling me that they've watched him and he believes that he can get everybody out, that nobody will ever get a hit off of him. He pitches like that too.
Yeah, he's got some moxie on the mound. No question about that. So here's Willingham, who had a bloop single in the 2nd inning. 3 hits for the Twins, 5 hits for the Athletics, and a breaking ball for a strike. That may be the first breaking ball he's thrown tonight.
It is, and the slider that he decided to bring it out second time through the order, especially with Willingham, who's a very good hitter. Seamer inside.
So 1-1 to Willingham. hit hard, but foul.
See, that looked like it's a great pitch to hit, but he took a lot off the pitch. At 89 miles per hour, and he's bumped it up to 94, 95 with a four-seam fastball. So while a hitter can see a pitch coming in and say, this is a hittable pitch, has a little movement on it to the point that ends up being hit in the ground, in this case, pulled foul.
One and two. Malone kicks and deals, and the fastball is outside.
Pretty interested fans in the crowd tonight. You hear them cheering at a time when you wouldn't think anything's going on to be cheering about. But fans are pretty knowledgeable.
And that one is right there. Strike three called. Strikeout number 6 for Cologne. And on that note, how about an October Quest update from the studio?
Number 27, Chris Parmalee.
All right, so the Royals beat the Rangers. And so the A's now have a magic number of 3 to clinch. If they can win tonight, it will be 2.
But I thought my comment was kind of a teaser. I really didn't say anything. I just said this, interested crowd, knowledgeable fans, and
Ray, you're bringing in the viewers is what you're doing.
but they were,
in many different kind of ways.
But you kind of hear the smattering of the fans, clapping and cheering, and nothing's going on the field, and then you know why? Because they saw the out-of-town scoreboard. And that's the beauty of those who watch the out-of-town score.
I think you have a little pennant race fever, Ray.
Yeah, it's fun time, Sellout crowd tonight. Friday night baseball. Scoreboard watching.
Inside corner, and a good pitch, and it's 2-2.
Bartolo tonight, 4 of his strikeouts have come with called third strikes. And the amazing thing is how he is manipulating the pitches. You see the scoreboard showing the 9th inning. And Safford there, the F going up pretty soon. I guess they're just kind of delaying, waiting for crescendo.
Oh, wanted to call it a strike, but didn't. 2-2. Make it 3-2.
Well, the movement, and Wally Bell for some reason didn't like it, but that moved a lot. Then Wally has seen enough of those two-seam fastballs to know that sure it might go around the plate. Maybe that one did.
High pop-up foul. So the count remains 3-2 to Chris Parmalee. 61 pitches, 47 strikes for Cologne. Payoff pitch. Norris setting up outside, and it's low. So that's the first walk. Bartolo Colon.
Try to get a little bit extra on the fastball at 94. It looked like he might have slipped as he delivered the pitch, and as a result, he was out of the strike zone.
5, Eduardo Escobar.
So here's Escobar, who had a base hit down the left field line in his first at bat. The walks per 9 innings, 1.3 walks per 9 innings. And that walk right there, just the 28th on the year for him. Swing and a miss. Off speed, a changeup, it looked like. So 0-1 to Escobar. Outfield shaded toward left center. Young is very shallow in left field. Coco way out. See, They want to show some highlights up on the scoreboard, and at the same time you show the highlights, he wants to drop the F right there. So they're working together.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He's showing the television.
That's right.
He's showing the camera. Here's the F-bomb ready to drop.
That's one way to put it. That one is lined into center, and that's a base hit. Escobar's 2 for 2.
Yeah, just thinking, watching the Royals or the Twins hitters, their approach is almost like they're facing a knuckleball pitcher because they're not really over aggressive.
Number 11.
And that one outside just to not get far enough away, and Escobar just off the end of the bat up the middle of center field. Long tried to reach for it, could not.
So a little 2-out rally, 2 on 2 out. Here's Clete Thomas. Thomas struck out looking in the second inning. Swing and a miss. 94 miles an hour from Bartolo Colon.
You're looking at a difference of 5 miles from his 89, the 2-seamer to the 4-seamer. 94 upwards even to 95. That makes the big difference from the timing standpoint for a hitter. And that's what makes Bartolo effective.
Fastball is high. That one's hit off the hands to Lowry. Shovels to Callaspo. Side retired. Twins strand 2. Bottom of the 4th coming up. The A's 3 and the Twins nothing. In-depth coverage every day and online. Plus the authentic post-game show. The team is Raiders Post-Game Live. The authentic home of the Raiders is Comcast Sports Net. 3-0 the A's lead. It is the bottom of the 4th inning. And Norris will lead it off. Norris hit that line drive that Arcia lost in the lights in right field, and he went for a double in the second inning. That was right after the Cespedes home run. First pitch is a strike. The Orioles and the Rays are still playing. They are tied 4-4 in the top of the 11th inning. Now, if the Orioles were to win that game, wait till you see the wild card standings then. Telling you, just when you think that the standings aren't going to get any closer. They get closer, and they have tonight with the Indians winning. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. The Orioles and the Rays, 4-4, 11th inning.
Can't wait for your explanation. That sounds like it's interesting, the way it's going to happen.
Well, I can't tell you, the Indians are now one of the 2 wild card teams. Now 2-2. They're just joining us. The Rangers just lost in Kansas City 2-1, with the Royals getting a bases loaded walk in the bottom of the 8th inning. And then Holland retiring the Rangers in the top of the 9th. And that one is past a diving Dozier, and that's a base hit for Norris. So here's what happened in between innings. The guys in the scoreboard, man, they're good. And they waited for the crowd, and the crowd saw the 9 go away. And a little roar came up when the F went down. So having some fun. I like it. And the crowd was into it. So, well, that's the wild card. Now remember, again, the Orioles and the Rays are tied right now. So the Indians are the 2nd wild card team.
Hard to believe Rangers showing they're a half game out.
Well, they've been struggling for so long.
It's almost,
you almost feel like it was a matter of time, and it's nothing against the Rangers, but they just haven't been able to put anything together the last month.
You know, the amazing thing, whenever the suspension began for Nelson Cruz, they were playing great baseball. It's almost as if they're saying, he's great, we need him, but we can go without him. And they play great, but to sustain that, then all of a sudden you got Alex Rios, who picked up the slack a little.
Yeah.
And you know, the one thing they're talking about is a big bat, and so it's amazing how quickly things can change. But the momentum, saw it with the Angels last year, where they got off to a slow start, had a big run towards the end, but not enough. And it's to the point that if you get off to a slow start, to sustain some sort of an unbelievable record, it's hard to do.
It is hard to do. And you know, the A's did it last year. The Dodgers did it this year. But you're right. It's very, very difficult to do.
With the Dodgers are 42-8 in 50 games. I mean, that's unheard of.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen again. Presley gets back, and he reaches up right at the last minute. So that is out number 1. Young hit that ball pretty well to right center. Here's our trivia question, brought to you by AT&T. The Oakland A's and the Minnesota Twins each had one player win an All-Star Game MVP. Who are the 2 players? Tweet us at CSN Athletics. All-Star Game MVP. So if you know any A's history, you'll probably be able to figure that one out.
And the guy is in the house tonight.
Yes, he is.
He's not in an A's uniform.
So the trick is, who was it for the Minnesota Twins?
Yes. Might have been him. Killer was good. He played in a lot of All-Star games.
Joe Mauer win an All-Star Game MVP? Doesn't ring a bell. Runner goes, throw to second base, into center field. Norris hops up. He's going to try for third. The throw is there, but it trickles off the glove of Escobar, and he's safe. So the Twins had 2 chances to get Norris, and they didn't get him either time.
I'd say Preston did a tremendous job in center field. This is what you want to see your center fielder do. The ball that gets by, he's charging, and he picked up the ball, and a throw other than the one that would hit the runner, it'd have been out. But once the ball got past, actually once it gets past the hitter, the center fielder has nothing to do except charge. Now Derek Norris was looking back, probably ill-advised, but fortunately by doing that, the throw kind of went into him, and the third baseman, Escobar, was not able to handle it.
And there's a base hit, and there's a run for the A's. Just like that, it's 4-0. Aspo with a base hit, picks up his 50th RBI of the year. So the air hurts the Twins, and the A's take advantage of a mistake.
Well, and the mistake was made also by the pitcher as Albers left the changeup up, and all over was Aspo. But the element of surprise probably by Derek Norris running, getting a good jump. And then, being a catcher himself, he knew that once the ball got past the middle infielder, probably was going to be able to make it easily to third, but that was not the case. But he did make it thanks to the ball hitting him and getting away from the third baseman.
So the Twins have made a couple errors in this game. 0-1 to Reddick. To Reddick. Reddick singled in a run into second and then scored later.
Bob Millen said getting a spring training last year. Remember, Manny Ramirez was with the club spring training. He said, "Give me 90 feet, run hard 90 feet to first base." And Josh Reddick did that in his last at bat and was rewarded with a base hit and an RBI. And those little things like that help the club win. You get a little frustrated, you hit a ball and you think, oh, I should have driven the ball harder and farther, but out of the box, running hard, was able to beat it out. So great hustle by Reddick, and tried again this time with a couple of strikes.
Reddick lays off that pitch. It's outside. 1-2 to count. So even the count now 2-2. The crowd tonight is 36,067. That's the 13th sellout of the season for the A's.
Well, that extra 1,000 is the sellout, or the standing room only crowd. So the suites in center field, except for the upper suites, are sold out. That 35,067 is the sellout, but you had the other 1,000, and people are able to stand around and enjoy this game tonight. Like to have the same type of crowd tomorrow and Sunday for the final 2 home games of the regular season. Final night game of the regular season. You know, you'd like to just to get a ticket to get inside. You know, the old saying is that I'm inside watching the game instead of being outside. And just to get the ticket to be able to get inside, no matter how you get it, it's great. America Park, where they have outside the street, you can watch actually through the fence.
That's a good idea. Center field where Presley is under it. He's got it, and that's out number 2.
Now batting first baseman.
So here's Barton.
Curry.
Singled in the second inning. The ball was misplayed by RCN. Barton ended up at third. First pitch from Andrew Albers is low. So 4-0, the A's lead. They've added a run here in the 4th inning.
Between Pinto, who we've seen in the series, catching, and now Herman behind the plate, moves very well. And watching a couple of catchers, it might encourage the Twins to think otherwise about Joe Mauer and say he might even be back Monday. It's a possibility. Jerry Ryan, the general manager, said he was still at home and recuperating from the concussion symptoms.
So 3-0 to Bart. Albers has not been close.
Terry Steinbach, the new bench coach for Ron Gardenhire, was former athletic catcher, working with these catchers and having a chance during spring training in the past when his kids were being raised, and now he gets a chance to work with them as the bench coach. There's Steiner. Coming back to the Coliseum where he played so well. He said his wife Mary was joining him on this trip, so she's back here as well. I'm sure they have friends still in the area.
Probably nice to come back after spending so much time here.
There's one of his friends, his teammate Mike Gallego. So it's him saying hello to Gene Tennis. Gene was here along with Fighter Blue and Blue Moon Odom, who we saw. Yeah, the guy that Blue Moon.
Parmalee steps on the bag.
Sorry.
Martin is retired. Hayes get a run on a couple of hits. There was an error. They now lead 4-0 after 4. The Twins have each had a player win an all-star game MVP. Who are they? Steinbach with the A's in 1988. Kirby Puckett with the Twins in 1993. I think the 1993 game was at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
With the rain delay.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know why I remember that.
Terry Steinbach, home run off of Dwight Gooden. Doc Gooden.
Well, you should win it if you hit a home run off of Gooden, especially in 1988.
But the amazing thing about Terry Steinbach, everybody said, how could this guy with his numbers be an all-star? Why is he the all-star representative? Well, he became the MVP. We talked about Terry Steinbach. That was a shot from Kirby Puckett at the Metrodome. But he was excellent, very quick footwork, and Walt Weiss, another Rookie of the Year at second base. Great numbers for Terry Steinbach. And, of course, a member of the world champion 1989 A's. In his first major league home run in his first at bat off Greg Swindell at Cleveland Indians in Cleveland. And I still say all the things about his hitting, watching him in his first game, and his footwork, throwing out a base runner. He converted third baseman, great footwork behind the plate, and there are his numbers. Three-time All-Star. Of course, the All-Star MVP, just a great player, great person, and you could say, Kite, that he's on record as being probably the first catcher who had a manager say, I'm going to call all the pitch outs and throw overs to step offs. And it was Tony Lewis. When Tony took over the club, Terry was catching, and he said, taking all that pressure off it. And now we see it in baseball where a catcher never calls the pitch outs, the throw overs, anything like that. All comes from the bench, which they do all the work and the preparation. Steiny, I want to say, was the first to do that with Tony.
Alex Presley had a hit in the first inning and a ground out in the third. Cologne ahead 0-2 to another Twins hitter. And that one's hit hard. Callaspo on a play. Gets up, throws, got it.
Well, that's a range you like to see from Callaspo, and with his third baseman's arm, once he catches a ball, how quickly he gets up with a very fast Presley to throw him out. And a very, very quick, strong throw, and what a great play, though. Angle perfect, and then popped up very quickly. Shorter throw because he's at second, but still a very strong throw needed with Presley hustling down the line.
So 2 outs, and here's Chris Herman.
I always like to say there's your difference of minor league baseball and the big leagues. Defensive plays, and you think you have a base hit, but there's great defensive play. Callaspo diving, headlong dive, pops up and throws him out, and you go back to dugout and say, well, that's an 0 for. So he's 1 for 3 tonight. With that, could have been a 2 for 3 for Presley. Great defense. That's what you like to see.
Pitch, very close. You know, there's an old phrase, Ray, and it seems kind of simplistic, but it, say it, that's a big league play.
Absolutely.
And I've had people say, well, we know that it's a big leaguer and he made the play, but what it really is, it's a reference to a play that's probably not made in the minor leagues, but it is made in the big leagues. Am I right?
Absolutely. And we'll continue because Bartolo just throws another hitter.
What a surprise. 7 strikeouts for Cologne. He is on top of this game tonight. 4-0. A's lead the Twins. On Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. GoPro, be a hero. Nice night on the Bay Bridge. Nice night at the Coliseum with the A's leading 4-0, bottom of the 5th inning. With the A's were to win tonight, they would have a magic number of 2. Now the situation tomorrow, the A's game is at 1 o'clock. The Rangers and the Royals game will start at what I believe is 4 o'clock Pacific time. So they will play after the Athletics.
6:10 Kansas City time, so 4:10 here. So yeah, that
could come into play.
Yep.
If you get an idea what I'm talking about, we'll see. A little bit of work to do in this game.
Exactly, and it's not unprecedented. The A's, I want to say, I'm talking to John Trinidad, who's the engineer back when the Haas family owned the club, that there was a game in which the Twins, coincidentally, chasing the A's won the game in the afternoon. Went to Jack London Square, had a private room Mr. Haas had set up, and watched the result. The Twins lost, the A's won the division, and the celebration was there. So nothing really happened at the field. You can't do anything, you're not going to stick around. But in that particular case was interesting. But
we're just giving you the different scenarios.
Exactly, really. Exactly. But the key is that the magic number did drop with the Rangers losing. And if the A's win, they drop again. So those are the good things about being in the standings when you have the number next to your name. That's for sure. It says Oakland A's and the magic number, and that's always a special.
Strike to Coco Crisp. Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. Coco has grounded out and hit a fly ball to center field. Top of the 12th, the Orioles and the Rays still tied at 4. The Red Sox clinched the American League's Eastern Division. They are in. The Dodgers clinched the division last night. They are in.
It's had to take a swim after that one.
Yeah. Forget the shower. Just jump in the pool. Ponder pool.
I heard a fan today that called in. And it was the MLB fans calling in, and one guy was from Los Angeles said, I can't understand why the Diamondbacks are so upset. He said, you know what, if the Diamondbacks win and they're in the West Coast, I'll give them a trip to the Pacific Ocean. They can get all the water they want.
Yeah, there's some pretty good lines being thrown around.
Yeah.
Coco had to wait on that big curveball and lost from the center. And that's out number 1.
Well, you know, we have talked about the 2 setups by Coco Crisp and Josh Donaldson. How about this? Watch Donaldson on your left, the high leg kick. He loads up, gets the foot down, and attacks the ball. Conversely, look at Coco. Watch the front foot, just barely. And this is a big strike for him. That was about a quarter of an inch or a couple of inches, but just the difference, but the same results. Both have hit a lot of home runs. 23 for Donaldson, 21 for Coco. And, you know, Donaldson, we saw the name Kirby Puckett pop up as the MVP in the All-Star game. Kirby Puckett would lift his front leg straight up and then down and really swung hard at everything. Puckett could hit some home runs. He could drive the ball. I think in his 10-year period of time, he averaged 200 hits a season. And unfortunately, passed away too soon, but went into Cooperstown. As he had 10 of the years that you'd love to have as a player. And Kirby put them all together.
Donaldson tonight, a single and a ground out. Ray, is there anything that jumps into your head when you think about Coco and why all the home runs this year? Or is it just one of those things? Just having a year where he's getting pitches and he's driving them?
Well, I think he's aggressive but disciplined. He doesn't swing a lot of bad pitches. And I think, remember when Ricky stole so many bases and Ricky hit so many home runs? You think about it, if a player has speed, a hitter has speed, you don't want to walk him because you figure it's going to be a double. And Coco, when he gets a good pitch to hit, and maybe pitchers are thinking, I don't want to walk him because he can steal bases, but I think is also the fact that he's so strong with his upper body that he doesn't take a big stride. He's not fooled. And the pitches that he's hitting usually are elevated, so he's driving the ball. But I think more than anything, like I said, he's just putting together a season that you would not expect from him.
No, it's not like he's doing anything different, it's just one of those years.
One of those years. How about
A's
this?
With 4 guys with 20 or more home runs, which is pretty impressive.
And the guy on the right with 21 is the guy you would not expect. You expect more of a home run. So more stolen bases and not as many home runs, but 173 home runs. Moss 27. And that's 41. And he's really right now a part-time player. He's not playing every day. Crisp is playing every day. Donaldson and Cespedes is playing every day. Yet Moss is not playing against a lot of lefties. Has more home runs than all three.
Two and two the count to Donaldson. So you don't think Coco said in spring training, you know what, I'm going to try to hit some more home runs this year? Because I think guys, if they say, well, they may change their stance a little bit. Yeah. It may cost their average some points. But this doesn't look like he's doing anything different.
No, and he's not in a position as a leadoff hitter and a stolen base threat and a kind of a go-go player where the team goes when he goes. That's not someone that could say that. Now, one time I remember when Derek Jeter was eligible for arbitration, and the only thing Yankees and late George Steinbrenner could talk about was, he doesn't hit enough home runs. That next year he said, okay, thank you, I'll show you. And I think he hit 20 plus home runs.
He did, yeah.
As if to say, okay, you don't think I can? I can't. But in the case of Coco, I think it's maturing as a major league hitter. He's a veteran. He knows how he's going to be pitched in some cases. And I still think hitting from the right side, which means a left-handed pitcher for him as a switch hitter, is that they look at the numbers and they say, we're going to put a lefty in. And how many times we've seen where he's come up with hits.
Lowry shoots on the center field for a hit. And Lowry has his first hit. That's 8 hits now for the Athletics. And there has been very few easy innings for Andrew Albers. He's had base runners all over the place.
Cutter slider inside that really didn't have the sharpness to it. Threw only 7 pitches in the first inning, but the A's, as the game has progressed, come to the batting order, working a little bit more.
Ryan Presley starts to throw. He warmed up last night. And with Albers, 86 pitches in 4 1/3 innings.
So you take away the 7 in the first, 79.
You get a double play.
3 plus innings. So that's what the A's do so well. They work a pitcher they have never seen before.
Nice big hop for the ball boy. Makes the play. He's got a lot of guys to protect now. Gave it to the little left-hander. The little lefty.
Bobby Shantz was a little lefty. He could pull the string on some guys.
Little lefty with the green beanie on. He's ready. Just a bit high with a fastball. 1-1 the count. Home run and a strikeout for Cespedes tonight. High and foul. Off-speed pitch that Cespedes reached for just a little bit. Amazing. These fans, they always seem to have a smile on their face the last couple years.
especially since a year ago this past June.
Yeah. They started smiling more right around June, July of last year. That one's hit high and foul, but it could be playable. Escobar, he does have room, and he makes the catch. So Cespedes fouls out, and that's out number 2.
You know, it is Friday, which means that today the gates open earlier because of batting practice, something the A's have started since the home run derby. And so a bigger crowd today on hand. Of course, sellout crowd for the game tonight. But it's good to see more people show up when the gates are open earlier to be able to watch the A's batting practice. And there's more to batting practice than just Cespedes hitting long shots. You watch batting practice and you put Brandon Moss in the grouping, and Reddick and Donaldson and Cespedes.
They'll put on a show for you.
They will put on a show. You're right. And you know, a great place to be is in the bleachers. You want some souvenirs? Go to the bleachers during batting practice. On this is the final Friday of the regular season. But there have been some stories about people who are able to watch batting practice and just have so many baseballs that they retrieve from home runs, because in batting practice you're getting about a 55-60 mile an hour fastball down the middle, and it's home run derby.
So
MVP.
You think about those seats out in left field. All right. During batting practice, the A's batting practice.
Yeah.
I'm totally guessing here. I got to believe 30 or 40.
Oh, at least, yeah, exactly.
Probably, maybe more than that.
And they're pearls too.
Yeah, they're going up in those seats.
Yeah.
So what you'd want to do is you'd want to hope that Cespedes and Moss are not hitting in the same group, and if Cespedes is hitting, you go out in the left field bleachers, and then when Moss hits, you run over and you go out to the right field bleachers. And if you did that, you would have more than a handful of souvenirs.
Or just get a couple of buddies and say, I'll take the lefties, you take the right. But it is a fun time, and
well, Donaldson hits a lot, and Reddick. I mean, it's
Moss. I mean,
pretty good show.
These guys, and then Sogard gets in. He said, "I'm just going to take my base hits to left field."
Yeah, which is fun to watch.
Absolutely, that's smart hitting. He knows he's not going to hit a lot of home runs. Moss landing and go right behind there,
and hit him. And the bases are going to be loaded for Chris Young. So Norris is on base for the third time, but this one maybe not quite as enjoyable.
Well, it's an 0-2 count, and he tries to go inside, and Derek Norris took it right on the left elbow. And so mom and dad on hand to watch him from Goddard, Kansas. They're in town to watch baseball the final week of the season. So I'm sure his dad, who is very energetic, and a year, well, all fathers of these guys are young anyways. But I'm sure a little concerned, but they also know their son is a very strong young man.
So Young has a chance to bust this thing open. Donaldson at third, Lowry at second, Norris at first, and the pitch is outside. Young tonight, a strikeout and a fly ball to center field. There is a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. And that one is outside. So Young in a pretty good spot, 2-0 with the bases loaded. And a fastball hit hard, diving play by Escobar, gets up, throws, and the ball gets by the first baseman. 1 run scores, 2 runs are going to score, 3 runs are going to score, and how about that? 7-0, the A's lead. The young man made a terrific play, but the throw was low and Parmalee could not take it out.
And that's going to be it. But what a great play. He actually saved a couple of runs legitimately. And the throw just could not be handled by Parmalee, almost to the point with the ball in the ground. And you know the foul territory for a first baseman come off the bag. He tried to scoop it, could not. He wanted the out, could not get it. And at that point, once it gets past the first baseman at the Coliseum, things can happen that you don't want to see, and that's 3-run score.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and spawn experts.
Your attention, please.
second base. Caspo is the hitter. The new pitcher is Ryan Presley. So, tall right-hander, 3-3 with a 3.56 ERA.
He did get a chance to face him in the Twin Cities.
Base hit right field. Garcia picks it up. He's not even going to make an attempt at the plate. Young scores. It's 8-0. The A's lead.
Bob Melvin always excited when he sees his team add on, especially taking advantage of some mistakes, and fastball down the middle after the first pitch missed, and Caspo was all over. You know, granted, Albers is going to, well, it's not an earned run in this inning, but remember, Albers had a 1-out walk and a 2-out hit batter on an 0-2 pitch. So, and then of course the E5, but he could have been out really unscathed with no run scoring, but he's had taken advantage of those.
Eight runs, 3 earned runs. I don't see that very often. So 3 errors tonight by the Twins. 2-0 to Reddick. Reddick RBI signal and a fly ball to center field so far in the ball game. 1 for 2. And he drives one right center field, and that's going to get down for a hit. Presley picks it up, gets it back in quickly. Caspo to third, and Reddick has his second hit.
Another fastball down the middle, a 2-0 count, and
Number 10.
Josh Reddick, a good night. It's amazing. He hustles for a base hit in the second inning to score a run or drive in a run. And that at bat turned out to be very good for him, and this one just as good with a solid base hit on the 2-0 fastball.
So Barton hits with runners at the corners. And that one to the backstop. Caspo hustling home, slides, he's in there, it's 9-0.
And as the great Bob Bucher was saying, just a bit outside. that was a wild pitch. Watch poor Herman behind the plate, and that was a very difficult pitch to try to put a glove on. He barely got a glove on it. You don't see many catchers having to jump to try to catch a ball, but Albers actually left his feet. Or not Albers, but Herman.
So the pitching coach, Rick Anderson, trying to calm Ryan Presley down. With a 1-0 count. Reddick now at second, and 5 runs are in for the A's here in the 5th inning. Barton a single and a ground out, and an off-speed pitch for a strike. Top of the 13th inning now in St. Petersburg, with the Orioles and the Rays tied 4-4. Down and in, 2-1. Been 3 hits in the inning. There's been a walk, a hit batter, an error, and 5 runs.
Really, all of it coming with 2 outs. Amazing.
Strike in the outside corner.
One of the things you'd like to see, and Bartolo Colon does it so well, and that's to be able to pitch inside effectively. Both sides of the plate. And tonight with Alvarez trying to go inside with an 0-2 fastball, maybe as a purpose pitch. Something that he and Herman work together and try to use the pitch inside to set up his changeup away. End up hitting the batter, and that kind of opened up.
So full count with Reddick at second base. Field straight away for Barton. Big tapper toward Dozier, the second baseman. Side retired. A's do major damage. They score 5 times. We're on to the 6th inning. It's the A's 9 and the Twins nothing. Plenty of wiggle room now. Some of the American League Cy Young Award candidates, at least we think they are. And we think Bartolo Colon's in the mix. I don't think he's going to win the award, but I think he is going to get some second and third place votes.
Absolutely.
16-6, got a pretty good shot at winning his 17th. It's going to be tough for any to beat Scherzer. He got his 20th win today. And Scherzer's second in the league in strikeouts, but what we're trying to say is that really outside of Scherzer, I think Colon's had as good a year as maybe any other pitcher in the American League, I think.
But you look at the list, and with the exception of Yu Darvish, and we do not know what's going to happen with the Rangers, but the other 3, Scherzer with the Tigers, Colon of course here, and Uehara with the Red Sox, are playing for successful teams, winning teams, and that to me has to factor in with an award given like that and how much they have meant to the success of the clubs. And Uehara probably is the biggest, simply because what he has done stepping in a closing role where so many pitchers have attempted. And unfortunate for Andrew Bailey, season-ending surgery, and who was the other kid from Pittsburgh that came over in the offseason?
Liriano? Who are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Boston, who came over. The Red Sox.
Oh, yeah.
The closer.
Melanson?
Exactly. Yeah.
We have seen, though, in recent years, Cy Young Award winners from bad teams.
That's true.
Felix Hernandez,
well,
Lincecum, when he won a couple, the Giants were not very good.
That's a good point.
But I think,
and Greinke also.
Also. But I put a little credence into pitching for a winning team as well. I think I think it should be part of it a little bit.
I think it's almost like an MVP, but from the pitcher's side.
Yeah,
it has success. And of course, there have been pitchers. Eck here, Verlander, of course, won the MVP and side. I don't agree with that. I think if you're an everyday player, you're like Cabrera last year winning the Triple Crown, and you're playing every day where a pitcher makes 35 starts. You're more valuable playing every day, driving in runs to help the pitcher win his games and the team to win.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't, and I hope Dennis Eckersley isn't listening, but I'm not really sold on a pitcher winning the MVP. Norris waits, and he's got it. So Dozier is retired on the foul out, and that's out number 1 here in the 6th inning as Cologne just keeps rolling along.
Yeah, I think, though, in defense of Dennis Eckersley, and I know that Verlander, you probably look at the same thing as a pitcher and different things, but Willie Hernandez won it for the Tigers in the 80s. Yep. When a closer, and Eck, if there was an automatic like Mariano Rivera, what he did when he won the Cy Young and MVP, he essentially probably more MVP than Cy, just because it's more valuable to come in to lock down a game, save it. When the A's had the lead, when he came in, it was automatic. I mean, it's just simply Eck was in, game is over. So, and I think in that regard, you're very valuable to your team whenever you can close out a game and close out a win.
Waldo Arcia has struck out and grounded out. And Cologne ahead in the count 0-2.
That swing to me was a swing of a hitter who was trailing 9-0 and thinking he's going to get nothing before seeing fastballs, and he's going to unload and try to hit it to the second deck. Very powerful, but his home run seemed to have come when he's faced the A's when he's not trying.
So 1-2 with Willingham waiting in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Outside corner, 93 miles an hour. That is strikeout number 8. A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Casino Matrix, San Jose's newest entertainment destination, open 24/7. Visit today and see for yourself the Casino Matrix difference. 2 outs for Willingham. 6 in a row retired by Bartolo Colon. First pitch, foul bat, and Colon's ahead in the count. 89 pitches, just 22 balls thrown by Bartolo Colon.
That's a second base umpire way out in left center field. Tim McClellan, roving outfielder for. Maybe he's checking the turf. Maybe he's going to get a call to the league office and saying, this is hard.
That one is launched to left field. Young is back, and it is off the wall. And Willingham is going to have a double. So Willingham is 2 for 3.
Too much top spin, so he was not able to put it over the out-of-time scoreboard. He tried. He lifted off. And running hard like he's played here before. Knew he did not hit enough to hit it in the seats.
Number 27, Chris Parmalee.
Yeah, Chris Young catches this on the first bounce. He might at least come close to throwing out Willingham. Willingham is running hard from contact, thinking there might be a play at second. Strong, short, quick swing by Willingham.
Parmalee swings and misses. Parmalee, a strikeout and a walk. off speed, drops in for a strike. Actually a fastball, but it had quite a bit of movement on it. Watch this baby move.
Watch Derek Norris, the catcher, as he moves with the ball. He just keeps grabbing it as it moves away from the left-handed hitter formerly. He's had the movement all night, and Derek Norris has been very comfortable calling the inside pitch, knowing he's going to get the movement.
Terrific ball strike ratio for Bartolo Colon. This one's popped up. Donaldson coming down the line. Donaldson in foul territory. He's got inside retired. A double and a runner left, bottom of the 6th coming up. It's the A's 9. It's the Twins nothing. On this date in 2002, the A's clinched a playoff berth right here at home. They beat the Rangers 4-2 that night. It was just a playoff berth, though, Ray. Yeah. It wasn't the division. They would wait. They would end up winning the division title. Handful of days later, finished with 103 wins. Of course, they lost in the first round to these Twins, but most playoff appearances in Major League Baseball history. A's and the Giants are tied. How about that? Yankees with the most, no surprise there. Dodgers are back in it. Cardinals will be in it.
Well, he's saying his goodbyes for the day, for the night. He's a beauty.
Yeah. Seen, Ray, the A's be a little bit more careful with Bartolo Colon in his pitch count, maybe saving some bullets, as we like to say. I think it has helped since coming back from the disabled list, and it'll probably help moving on for the rest of this season. So Doug Bernier, the new second baseman.
Well, there have been times, and Bartolo, when he pitched for the Yankees, he had a great first half, tailed off a little bit towards the end, the second half. But as Tommy Malone loosens in the A's bullpen, I think what we are seeing is exactly what you said. Kurt Young, Bob Melvin saying, okay, here's your pitch count. And if you can save some bullets this time of the year, it's the best time to do it.
Coco gets the walk. It's just the second walk the A's have received tonight, but they banged out 10 hits. So Coco is on base for the first time. And here's Donaldson. First pitch is a breaking ball down and away. That game in Kansas City that the Royals beat the Rangers. Hochevar got the win. Frazier got the loss. But the bases loaded walk was issued by Neftali Feliz, and it was a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs.
That's amazing.
Donaldson, left center field. That's hit well. And that baby's gone. 11-0. The A's lead the Twins. So Donaldson hits number 24. Give him 91 RBIs.
Give him a 93 heater about letter high, and he's looking for it. 1-0. Here's the leg lift, the foot down, and charge. And he just keeps putting up the numbers. Left center field over the Comcast Sportsnet California sign. And a 2-run shot. So, kind of as you said, only 2 walks tonight. Both have scored.
Yep. And here's Lowry, who's 1 for 3. So Donaldson has another multi-hit game.
Some of the members from the 72 3-4 World Championship teams were in town tonight. Function over in the East Side Club. Gene Tennis out of blue. And the other guy, Blue Moon.
John Blue Moon Odom,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
But Gene Tennis said hello to Josh Donaldson. And he said, man, you're putting up some numbers. And I said, Gino, he was a catcher. And he said, Gino said it best. He said, you know, you can go from behind the plate to first base, and you can make some mistakes, bobble a ball, and still get an out. Yeah. He said, moving from behind the plate to third base is not that easy because it's a longer throw. But Josh Donaldson has played so well at third, catching is kind of an afterthought. And Gino said something, but you had some great numbers. And Josh said, I have no idea what they are. And he probably doesn't. All he wants to do is play every day, but he has put up phenomenal numbers. And you're looking at 24 home runs now and 81, make it 91 driven in. And so he's got next week, and I'm sure with the A's trying to continue to have a better record, he's going to play it out. And we may be looking at a 25 and 100 player.
There's a multi-hit games. He's now got 54, chasing Tejada and Katse for the Oakland A's record for multi-hit games in a season. Lowry swings and misses, so that's the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Well, it's not just the conversion from catcher to third base, but it's the fact that he's really played at a Gold Glove caliber.
And you know the thing that, I mean, he was a one of Gene Tennis, well aware of him. He knew that what Gene Tennis had done in the World Series, and he's, you know, a student of the game, and that to me is important because he wants to make himself better. He wants to know the game, learn the game, and I mean his numbers prove. I mean, this is just the 6th inning, and yet the A's are playing well. He's playing well, but the ultimate goal is as a team to win. It's been fun watching him develop last year, coming back and forth, and still say when Brandon Inge was here and played great defense, and Donaldson came back, he said, I want to be like him. I want to play solid defense at third base. He's done that, and then added the pop with his bat on top of it.
Cespedes quickly falls behind 0-2 on a couple of swing throughs. So 2 more home runs for the A's tonight, Cespedes and Donaldson. They've hit 5 in the series. Of 174 on the year.
Well, the second half numbers is, you talked about that number is just unbelievable.
That one's hit hard. Flormont makes a nice play, straightens up, and throws out Cespedes.
Hey, it's here tomorrow, folks. The A's Oktoberfest is tomorrow. Special beers will be available to fans 21 and over throughout the Coliseum. 10,000 fans will receive an Oktoberfest Stein, and it's courtesy of Socks. German-themed entertainment will take place throughout the game. Visit OaklandAthletics.com/Oktoberfest. So German-themed entertainment during the game tomorrow. We got Yoda in all over the Star Wars tonight. So Oktoberfest Steinman. He's shaking his head because he's probably saying, you know what, it was never like this when I played here. What's that bag back here?
Toy bag.
What's it called?
I'm not going.
No, when we were in Minnesota, there you mentioned it. No?
It's good, though. It's good.
You'll have to tell us how good.
Yeah, I will. Maybe tomorrow morning.
It's going to be a special day here with the. I want to see the Brewmaster, man.
It's going to be a good day.
Meet and greet with the Brewmaster.
Tomorrow's going to be a good day. Day baseball.
Oh, can't beat day baseball.
1-1 to Norris, who's had a big night. Double run scored, single run scored, hit by pitch run scored. He's also swiped a bag. Derek Norris has been right in the middle of everything tonight.
Well, you know your night's going to start out well when you hit a ball and the outfielder loses the lights.
That's a good start.
And that's a double. So that's a good way to start your night, and he's completed it.
Strikes out there, and that'll do it for the A's, but they get 2 more runs thanks to Josh Donaldson's 24th home run of the year. So we're through 6 innings. It's 11-0. The A's lead.
Why Bartolo Colon, the master, and you can say whatever you want to the number. He's got his 40 on his back, but he is a brilliant pitcher. Strikeouts 7, make it 8 of them tonight, and he had 5 called third strikes. Had a great fastball, sometimes 93, 95, with the 2-seam fastball right there was the pitch of the night for Bartolo Colon. Maybe threw 1 slider that to Josh Willingham. Occasional changeup, but mostly 2- and 4-seam fastballs, and he finishes 94 pitches, 6 innings, no runs, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Last 4 starts, 0.72 earned run average for Bartolo Colon.
So it's Tommy Malone, and Tommy Malone throws a first pitch strike to Eduardo Escobar. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Malone comes in, and he jumps ahead 0-2. It's not just Bartolo Colon that seemed like he had 0-2 on every Twins hitter.
And are we not surprised that maybe A few A's pitchers are watching the master pitch and saying, if he can do it, why not me?
So 0-2 the count. Did he go? He did not. Some changes for the Athletics. We'll let you know what those are. Seth Smith is now in left field for the Athletics. Chris Young goes to center, and Coco's going to get the rest of the night off. There's also some changes on the infield.
Got a big change to booth too.
Yes, we do. So 1-2 to Eduardo Escobar, and the pitch is high. And Steph Curry has joined us in the booth. Steph, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Busy man tonight, huh?
Yeah, but you guys got good views right here, so I'm glad I'm here now.
It's
this is awesome.
We like to think we get the best view in the house.
That's pretty good.
Thanks for coming by. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Back in the Bay Area, full time, get ready for training camp. So saw the bright lights. Stopped by.
When do you guys start?
Training camp starts Saturday coming up. So last week of the summer, getting ready for another good season.
Number 11, Cleet Thomas.
And you're in tip-top shape, huh?
Pretty much. This is go time. So while the A's are gearing up for the playoffs, we're just getting started.
That's perfect.
But you like the excitement at your place just like here, right?
Oh, it's awesome. It kind of gets me going, coming, seeing a game, and some of these same fans come over right across the parking lot to watch us play. So this is definitely getting me riled up for our season and all these great fans in Oakland, in the Bay Area.
Well, you are a treat to watch, I got to tell you. And you have had all kinds of fans down in the Bay Area. Last year must have just been unbelievable. I mean, you had to start feeling the energy or knowing how badly these fans want you guys to go to the postseason, and how the postseason has been a tough place for you guys to get to, but you guys did it, and it must have been a lot of fun.
It was a blast. I just saw the highlight reel, all the yellow shirts. The We Are Warriors, rallying around our new identity. Long waiting period for our fans, and they definitely deserved it. And to break that drought that we've had since '07, and then only making the playoffs twice in almost 20 years, that's got to change. And we hopefully got the team and the staff, coaching staff, to get that done on a consistent basis. So. I came last year to watch the A's, make their playoff run, and hopefully do it again this year.
Well, we appreciate that. Last year's numbers for Steph Curry. And
that's impressive, man. You're good.
It was good.
Wow. How tall are you?
6'3".
And you could stuff it like that, play at all those big boys like that, and do things.
I guess I call it craftiness.
Yeah.
Just try to get around them however I can.
You're
and
like a
shots.
lefty finesse pitcher. Right?
That's it, right? You got to get that ball moving.
So your hands, use them two hands.
Yeah.
That's impressive, especially with the big guys.
That was hit a long way.
And it is.
Good
Chris
catch.
Young at the wall, grabs it. Side retired. Steph, stick around. We'll talk more about the Warriors and the A's when we come back. the A's lead. We're enjoying our visit with Steph Curry from the Warriors. And Steph, I got to tell you, I was lucky enough to broadcast the game at Madison Square Garden when you scored 54 points.
Oh, yeah.
And you had New York fans cheering for you. It was unbelievable. Tell us about that night at Madison Square Garden.
That was it was bittersweet. Obviously, I had one of the best games of my career and shot the ball extremely well on the stages and under the lights at Madison Square Garden that are uncomparable in the NBA. So, across other sports, we ended up losing the game, so it kind of put a damper on the night. But after the season, I got to actually look back and see the film, and it was something to remember for me personally.
Did you say wow a couple times about your...
Yeah, my dad called me after the game and said he almost got a couple noise complaints in his hotel room where he was on the road with the Bobcats, banging on walls and yelling and screaming because I was playing so well. So
that's great. It was.
I had a great night.
That was a good. Yeah, that's one of the all-time great performances.
We just got to win it next year. That's it.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
Chris Young skies one. Escobar now working his way back, and the ball falls, and it's a foul ball.
It's always going to work its way back, and that one, fortunately for the third baseman, was fouled. See, that's kind of the home field advantage because Josh Donaldson knows that when a ball is hit over towards the left side that it will come back, unlike on the right side. Understand you got to be taking a pretty long trip to play some basketball, huh?
Yeah, playing some basketball in China. Beijing and Shanghai tour with the Lakers. I think the second week of October. I've never been.
How long going to be there?
We played 2 games, I think, over a course of 7 days. So looking forward to it. Family's going to go. A lot of people in the organization are going to go over. And it's going to be NBA. They do a great job of promoting us over in China, and they're hungry for basketball and a lot of different sports. So looking forward to getting on the ground and seeing what it's like.
So our guys did a little research, Steph, and we found out that Chris Young may have just hit a home run. No, he did not.
Sounded like it did.
So the guys tell us that your dad, who was a terrific player in the NBA, was actually drafted by the Baltimore
Orioles after his freshman year at Virginia Tech. As a pitcher. Right-handed pitcher. I think he threw mid-90s in college when he first got there. He told me the story. He got mono at the end of his freshman year playing baseball. Yeah. And if he wouldn't have gotten mono, he probably would have pursued his career in baseball at that point. So he missed out that window and came back and played basketball, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it turned out all right.
Yeah, baseball was his first love growing up.
Not a bad guy.
Yeah.
We like the Curry family even more.
He got me and my brother into it at an early age, and I played up until I was a freshman in high school.
Oh, really?
So, that was about it. But yeah, he loves it.
Where do you get the jumping ability? I mean, and I say that because 6'3", you think, jumping, you can shoot and all that, but to be able to do the things that you do on the basketball court, I mean, is it something you work on to do it? Exercises, how do you get it?
Yeah, it's consistency of exercise. Science now is so advanced that there's so many ways to break down your body and how you're training to focus on your lower body strength and different parts of that's going to make you more explosive on the basketball court. And so getting it during the summer, having a routine and sticking to it over the course of 4 months, you see a lot of improvements, and it's definitely beneficial during the season with the 82 games we play and how much we run to maintain yourself over that time. So I rely on technology and the science behind it all a lot more than I ever thought I would.
I've always thought, Cap, and you've done the sports, that basketball, if you're not the best conditioned athlete, I don't think you could play basketball. Because it's tough.
You got a shot, do you? I mean,
it's tough. I mean, just you have the skill that with your hand-eye coordination, moving the basketball and shooting, but especially at this level, just the athleticism is just it's tough to compare to, and it's for me as an undersized guy, 6'3", and only like $185 soaking wet. So
it's all right.
I gotta be able to run faster and longer than all the other guys.
All right, we'll continue our chat with Steph Curry when we come back. A's leading 11-0. It's on October 7th after the Warriors exhibition game versus the Kings, and it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Barry. Unique all-access profile of Steph Curry, the person, as well as the basketball player. And that is a trip to Tanzania, which you got to tell us about that. And don't forget, the Warriors will open up their season on October 30th, right next door at Oracle against the Lakers. October 30th, write it down. So Tanzania. Tell us about Tanzania.
It was a part of a promotion with Nothing But Nets, the foundation that I've been with for the last 2.5 years. And we raised money for anti-malaria bed nets and to distribute them in refugee camps in Tanzania where they were needed. It was a very, very eye-opening but rewarding experience. And 66,000 Congolese refugees in the country of Tanzania, and we handed out 34,000 bed nets to protect this whole camp. So that's the mission that we're trying to grow. It's an entirely preventable disease that affects a lot of different people over there. So all the money that we raise is definitely going straight to where they need it.
Great. It's nice to see a young man.
Oh, yeah.
Got his head on straight, and doing the right thing. So we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And I'm still amazed when I see these 7'2" guys. You're flying around at 6'3", you know. And
we were talking about Yao Ming during the break.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those guys, I played against him once, and it's to see those towers just down there.
But
you
I would
gotta figure it out.
If you're 6'3" and they're 7 whatever, they're saying, where is he? You know, looking down, and all of a sudden you're all over the place. You probably have more energy than any of them moving around, and your athleticism and what you talked about preparing yourself and continue that. You know, Eric Hausen, who is used to be with the A's.
How awesome is he?
Yeah,
he
does it all, doesn't he?
Shout out to Eric. Eric doesn't get enough love in the Bay Area. Our equipment manager who handles all our needs as players to get us on the field or on the court. Yeah, travel and everything. He's awesome. I know he's probably watching. He's the biggest A's fan in our locker room. So
yeah, it's right. He deserves a summer break.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes,
and he's already. I actually talked to him because he told me you guys were going to China. He goes, man, it's going to be something. You know, could you imagine arranging all of it and making sure everything's set?
50+ people and
he's a good man.
Everything. So shout out to Eric. That's good.
So your first game, now your preseason, you're going to play in China. But when is the preseason? Because I think the A's are hopeful there's going to be some conflicts with your schedule and the A's postseason schedule, which there could be.
We open up, making this deep playoff run. We open up October 30th against the Lakers here at home.
World Series time.
That's it.
I wouldn't mind, playing the Lakers and coming over here.
That's perfect.
And supporting the A's, trying to get that ring.
It is Game 6.
Game 6 of the World Series. There you go.
But the one thing you have to realize on the West Coast, 5:20 local start. So you're probably going to start 7:30.
Yeah, I have to put my head in and look after here. See the first 3 innings and then just check the scoreboard during the game.
Yeah, we hope that occurs because.
That would be the only reason I would be okay with Oracle not being sold out.
Well, both of them would be sold out, I'm sure.
Steph, speaking of the West Coast, you're from the East Coast, but how much do you enjoy the West Coast? Because now, obviously, you spend a lot of time here. Different, but do you like
different. All I've known is Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah. That's where I grew up and went to school at Davidson, which is 20 minutes away from the city. But coming out here, and this is my 5th year now. This is home, so we're going to settle up. As long as I'm playing for the Warriors, this is going to be home for us, and spend as much time as we can here. And my family loves it. They love coming out, visiting. And
tough to beat the weather, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I got a 14-month-old daughter and a wife, so they're all enjoying getting acclimated to the Bay Area. Perfect. So this is it for us.
Now you said something. As long as I'm with the Warriors, you think the Warriors going to let you go?
No. You never know. If they ask me, I'm saying no, but you never know. It's a business.
But I think the way you've performed, I don't think you're going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't see a reason I can't foresee anything that would get me off the Warrior bandwagon.
Well, you got to be excited, though. Huh? A good season last year and additions made. You guys get a chance to be real special.
We lost 2 guys that were very key to our lineup. But bringing in Andre Iguodala, we basically stole Denver's best player after beating them in
Too bad, right?
First round. So we got better. We're trying to keep up with the West Coast.
Hey, Steph, thanks for coming by. Good luck.
Thank you guys.
Enjoy to watch.
Okay, man. That's too, man.
Steph Curry and the Warriors.
Hands, too.
Another way,
What do you
October
get,
30th against the Lakers. We'll be back. All right, let's check out the game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. All A's tonight. 0-5-4 for the Twins. 11-11-0 for the Athletics. So the Twins defense has hurt them tonight big time, and the A's continue to pound the baseball. Couple of home runs tonight for the A's. Cespedes, his 25th. Donaldson, his 24th. So the A's are 3 outs away from dropping their magic number to 2. And if they do that, well, the A's could be division champs by tomorrow.
That's right.
Mid-evening. Well, we'll see. Barton to lead it off. Ray, they are still playing baseball in St. Petersburg. It's 4-4. Orioles and the Rays in the bottom of the 15th inning.
1/4 in St. Pete.
I mean, that's a huge game.
Yeah.
Or any game at this point is huge with all these teams. But so they're battling it out. Barton is retired.
Celebrate the 2013 season with a commemorative A's team photo presented by Kingsford Capital Management this Sunday, September the 22nd. 10,000 fans will receive this limited edition team photo, complete with the 2014 A's schedule on the back. You get to find out who's on the team and where they're going to be playing next year. For tickets and information, visit oaklandathletics.com/tickets. I love that photo.
I like that. Yeah,
when they put the players in the alternate gold, they have the staff in white.
I agree.
That's great. Cool. It's a classic photo.
Here's Seth Smith hitting in Coco's spot. So it's fun to talk to Steph Curry. Very nice young man. Got his head on straight.
Yeah, I think
nice.
your comment about that is perfect because he's into more than just playing great basketball and
making it a better place.
Yeah,
What he's trying to do.
So many players, and you see the A's do a lot of things, and normally players do things they don't want the attention, but it's nice that was brought up. And
Smith hits one on a line to Arcia in right field. He grabs it. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hey, make sure you join us after the ball game. It's the A team, and it's the final A team of the year. Korak, Catronio, Fossey, and myself will get together. We'll talk about what looks like it will be an A's. A's postgame live at 95.7 The Game is where you're going to find the A team tonight with news guys right over there. Vinny, the author, Ken Korak.
That's right.
That's right.
Maybe we'll just talk books tonight.
That's right. Yeah. Billy Shakespeare, who we like to call him now, and he. Billy Shakespeare over in the booth, and his book is doing great, and we're proud of Ken Korak. Look at him. Those babies will be sold by, they may be sold by the top of the 9th inning the way his book is flying off the shelf. His book is doing great. So good for Ken. Andy Perino. Perino in Donaldson's spot. Big swing and a miss.
He's in dreaming about it. He said, how could I get 9 more ribbies before this season's over? Whack, there comes the ball. He's got to stay alert. You never know.
2-2 the count to Perino. That's the difference with the A's dugout. It is a long ways away from the field, but there's no railing in front. So you do have to be careful.
Well, that's the reason that there's no railing, because it's so far. It's unbelievable. It's the farthest, the most foul territory in the American League for sure, the National League, I'm sure.
Perino strikes out. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we are on to the 9th inning. A's 3 outs away from win number 91. Nothing. The A's lead the Twins. It is the 9th inning. Jamal Weeks takes over in center field. So our first time seeing Jamal Weeks as a big league center fielder.
That's right. Absolutely. And Tommy Malone, 6 up, 6 down. Evan Scribner trying to complete it.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Scribner in. 17th appearance for tall right-hander. Tommy Milone goes 2 perfect innings with 3 strikeouts after Cologne went 6. A's pitchers have struck out 11 tonight and have walked 1. Two and 1 the count to Arcia. Fouls it back 2-2. Chris Colabello is in the on-deck circle. That one tapped slowly right side, and it somehow, and I mean somehow, trickled through the infield. And Arcia is going to end up at second base. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
They have not, and Barton went over to field it, and once he let it go thinking Sogard was there because Scribner was going to be covering. And this might be the shortest double we've ever seen. Maybe we should get Steph Curry in here to explain this.
Because I can't explain.
It looked like a basketball maneuver, didn't it?
Can you explain it, Ray? I can't.
No.
Explain it.
Well, Barton went forward, and Sogard looked like he was going to go cover first. And thinking Barton was going to catch the ball, and he was going to flip it to Sogard. Meanwhile, that's a double.
It is a double.
Did it eat? Well, they barely made the outfield grass. Just put a big ilm next to it called miscommunication. Let's see.
I think Gaggs is trying not to laugh because we all know the A's are a pretty good defensive team, and when that happens, you almost just have to chuckle a little bit.
Professor Gallego will be in to see you in the office. Come and see me. Let's get the chalkboard out and take a look at what you did and what you should not have done.
Colabello pops it foul. 1-2 the count. Colabello hitting for Willingham here in the night.
Now, Evan Scribner has to work a little bit harder to try to preserve the shutout. Granted, the A's have a big lead, but you'd like to keep the 0 on the board.
Swing and a miss. Fastball. Colabello strikes out. So that's 12 strikeouts now by A's pitchers.
Oh, when you get a fastball, Scribner has a sneaky fastball, and especially with a great curveball, and Colabello a little bit upset. No contact made on a high fastball.
So Parmalee hits for the 4th time. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Good curveball, and it's in for a strike.
Evan Scribner spent most of the season in AAA, but you know he's a big league pitcher. He can do the job, as we saw last year down the stretch. But you have a sneaky fastball and the 12-6 curveball. Those are 2 pretty good pitches to have, especially with the consistency in which he throws the curveball.
Oh, 1-2 to Parmalee. Curveball, and it's rolled foul.
Right there, 4-4 in the 15th.
Yeah, the Rays are trying to win it.
Yeah. Under third, how many outs?
First and third, 2 outs in that ball game in Florida. So the count remains 0-2 to Parmalee. Curve, and it's ripped foul. Ball boy went for the backhand, could not quite come up with it. Eduardo Escobar is the on-deck hitter. Fastball high. Jared Parker's going to pitch tomorrow. A's will see another young left-hander, Pedro Hernandez.
They get to see their 6th different starter in the first 6 games they're playing each other.
So the A's are sitting on a magic number of 3 to clinch the West. If they win this game, it'll be 2. Oh. What a wake-up call for Derek Norris. Not that he needed it.
I asked Stephen Vogt, who took a few shots off the mask last night. I said, "What's it like?" And he said exactly that. It's a wake-up call, you know, because if you're not awake, definitely you're going to be awake after taking one off the mask. And he took a couple off and had a cross-up.
And another foul ball by Parmalee.
Stephen Vogt, he is a very happy young man. He rushed out of the clubhouse and said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Calling my mother. It's her birthday." So Stephen Vogt doing what a good son should be doing, getting on the phone and wishing his mother a happy birthday down in Visalia. So he is watching tonight, caught last night. Remember the cross-up he had last night?
Yeah.
You know? He said that he was told as a football player, he said, you try to catch the ball right near your face and you always catch it. Well, he said that fastball came right near my mask, and that's kind of how he caught it. But he rated him, you know, and he said it right. If you're expecting fastball, you get a breaking ball, you can make a change. But if you're thinking off speed and you get a fastball mid-90s, that's hard to recover when you start to look down. And this was Stephen Vogt last night, and there's one off the mask. And make it 2 off the mask. And blocked ball. I mean, he was all over the place.
He worked hard last night.
He did. And hard slider throw my straight. This was the one, though. That, and then he held it. It's a strike. But that's a great shot, because to catch a ball like that and just happy that your heart's still in the right place.
That's right. He actually framed it a little bit. Heck of a battle here between Scribner and Parmalee. 12 pitches in the at-bat, 10 foul balls.
That's it.
It's going to be another one.
Show off.
He is.
Well, he's tried to throw the overhand yellow hand with a big curveball. Scribner throws very effectively. Parmalee keeps fouling him.
And then he lines one to center. Weeks handles it, and that's out number 2. That's a pretty good at bat by Parmalee. Give him credit, but he ends up lining out, and it's the second out.
Look, watching former second baseman play in his position, and Mr. Ma was all over the place in Sacramento, playing different positions, including center field.
Escobar.
Robin Yao did it. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Shortstop, Gold Glove. Center field, Gold Glove. He was the best.
First pitch to Escobar, and the curve called a strike by Wally Bell. A little bit low. Rays post-game live coming up right after the ball game, including the A-team. So we'll talk with one of the heroes from tonight's game for the Athletics. And the count now 1-2. The sellout cry will rise to its feet. Over 36,000 tonight. 13th sellout of the year for the Athletics. Maybe they're just getting themselves in playoff form tonight. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and that's the ball game. And it's a shutout, 12th shutout of the year for the Athletics. And the A's now have a magic number of 2, folks, to win the American League West. They could be division champs by the end of the day tomorrow. We shall see. So it's an 11-0 win for the A's over the Minnesota Twins tonight. The Rangers lost their game earlier. So the A's are on the verge of the division title. But a good ball game all around. Lots of hitting, more home runs for the A's, and more Bartolo Colon, who went 6 shutout innings. So A's won last night 8-6. They win it tonight 11-0. So lots of offense so far in this series. Certainly nice to see Bartolo Colon doing what he did, and the A's let him get through 6 innings. He was very sharp. Maybe saved a few bullets for the rest of the season. So
yeah, I think just as important, the pace of Bartolo Colon early until he kind of developed the two-seam fastball that was moving very well, and really all of his pitches, the extra on his fastball. But that is Bartolo. He knows what he's capable of doing. He knows how long it's going to take him to get to the point where he can do what he did at his best tonight. And it's not surprising because he knows how to pitch.
Won his 17th game. He came into the game with the 2nd lowest ERA in the American League. That's going to go down, but 17-6 now for Bartolo Colon.
And it's amazing. And I think as we talk, maybe the best thing to shut him down for 15 days on the disabled list, and he had a groin injury. You know how extent that was, probably not that bad, but maybe just a breather to not do anything, not to go out and pitch, and he has come back and been outstanding. And if the A's can do that, and they get what they're getting now out of Bartolo as they get into what they hope would be an extended time in October, to have him on the staff. Remember last year he wasn't available. He did not pitch in the postseason last year as he was serving his suspension, but it's not the case this year, and he is pitching as well as probably anybody in the American League right now.
And the A's scoring runs in bunches, and but it's just a Minnesota Twins pitching staff. They're young, and if they make any mistakes, or in tonight's case, mistakes behind them, right, I just think it's very tough for these young pitchers to kind of get through innings against an A's offense that just kind of grinds pitchers down. A's hitters grind veteran pitchers down, and they do it even more so to young guys.
Yeah, and I think with Albert's 7 pitches in the first inning, it looked like he had to be thinking, I'm going to have a nice season. All of a sudden, he's out in the 5th inning with 95, 96 pitches. So it says a lot about the A's offense.
All right, so the man who caught Bartolo Colon tonight, Derek Norris, is standing by downstairs. And Derek, let's talk about Bartolo Colon. 6 innings tonight, and since coming off the disabled list, boy, he has just looked terrific, throwing a little bit harder. What's your assessment of Colon since he's come back from the DL?
Well, I just think there for a while he was just a little fatigued, and coming, he pitched kind of half the season last year. I think he was just a little fatigued, so, give him that 15 days to get his feet underneath him, and ever since he's come back, his velocity's been back and his location's been spot on.
Derek, the called strike threes tonight were a lot of his 8, about 4 or 5, maybe 5 at least. The two-seam fastball, at what point is you as a catcher will call the two-seam knowing that you're going to get the movement that you want, especially into left-handers?
I don't call the two-seam. He just throws what he wants to throw, and I react. Yeah, wow. That's not something that we have designed where I call a two-seam or four-seam. I just call one finger, and it's either a 4 or 2, and I just got to react and move with it.
You're a great catcher then.
That's debatable.
No, I mean, to me, because that can't be that easy, especially, we're seeing some highlights. There's a tremendous movement. It's almost like he's a lefty throwing a slider to some of these guys. So great job that you're doing to catch that, because I thought it was kind of you knew what was going to be going on.
No, catching Bardo a few 10 or so, 15 times now, you can kind of tell sometimes when he's wanting to grip the 4-seam and 2-seam. Not always. It's definitely difficult sometimes, but he does a great job, and he throws a lot of strikes, which definitely helps me out too.
Derek, no secret, your magic number is now 2. I'm sure you probably know that, and you guys haven't done it yet. You still got a couple more wins to get, but do you find yourself at times thinking about, boy, we are so close to winning the division again, thinking back how much fun you had last year and how you got a really good chance to do this again?
Well, I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you that it was somewhere in my brain that we have 2 more wins before we clinch. But you know what? Our motto is one game at a time, and we come out here tomorrow. I think we got a day game tomorrow, and come out here and play the one game, win the one game, and let the rest take care of itself. But like I said, I'd be lying to you if it wasn't in the back of our minds, but we're still here trying to grind out one win at a time.
All right, and we're going to all take it one game at a time, but maybe tomorrow night at this time, we'll just see. Thanks, Derek. We appreciate it.
All right, guys.
All right, so a couple of hits tonight for Derek Norris. He catches Bartolo Colon, and I like that. He was honest. He said, you know what, yeah, how can you not think about it? You know, we're all thinking about it. We know it's very close for the Athletics, which is kind of a fun thought.
You know what I'm sitting there thinking?
What are you thinking? This should be good, folks.
No, now you think, I caught, and as a catcher always wants to know what the pitcher's throwing. The fact that he puts down a fastball and he gets a 2 or a 4-seam fastball, that says a lot about catchers who catch Bartolo Colon. Because we've seen the amount of movement on those pitches. So that says a lot about Derek Norris. And tonight doing a great job with Bartolo. And, you know, you put the finger down, you're looking fastball, you don't know how much it's going to move. I tip my hat to you, my friend, because Derek Norris, that was a great job.
And it was a great job by everybody tonight.
Right.
The A's win it 11-0 over the Minnesota Twins. So you've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's post-game live with Scott Reese, Shooty Babbitt, and Bip Roberts starts right now.